Hi everyone, it's Jenny. I wanted to talk today about wrist foundation in terms of stability and mobility. So one of the things that we do in this practice is we are often on our hands in terms of our foundation. We use our hands for plank pose, for push-ups, for chaturangas, upward dogs, downward facing dogs, arm balances, and maybe in the later stages of your practice, you might float into handstands in terms of your transitions, or just having some fun with handstands. So no matter what, you have to have a solid foundation with the hands. So one thing that I want you to bring awareness to is the fact that your fingers can stretch way out and away from each other. And this is going to really serve you in your practice. So anytime your hands are on the ground, don't curl your hand in. Instead, try to flat pancake your palm down on the ground and stretch out the distance between your fingers. The next thing you're going to bring awareness to is the fact that you can actually kind of create a visual square of 4 points on each of your palms. So thinking about 4 points, one underneath your index finger knuckle, one underneath your pinky knuckle, one here at the very base outer edge of your palm, and the other one right here at the very base of your thumb. And so as you move through kind of this visual of this square, I want you to, with your hands on the ground, push solidly into all 4 points. So that way you're not dumping all of your weight down here in this particular region. Instead, you might be moving more weight into this knuckle and this knuckle, just as much as you're pushing into this space and that space, okay? So anytime your hands are on the floor, I want you to think about 4 points of your hands, pushing through those 4 points as evenly as you can possibly push. Next, what I want us to do is just thinking about mobility in general. So I'm just going to give you 2 exercises to practice, and you can toss them into your practice at any time. So first thing is we're just going to make some fists, and we're going to start to roll some figure 8s with our fists. So you don't need to make fists super hard for this one. Instead, just focus on the actual mobility of the wrists, working through figure 8s. And you can do that for 30 seconds. You can do this for a full minute. Again, just in terms of mobility, we're just trying to warm up the wrists and get into some movement so that way we can flush and push our hands into the ground at this 90-degree angle that often happens. The next thing that I want to have us do is this technique called flashlight hands. Now, this is something that I learned taking handstand classes pretty repeatedly, and this is a good way to increase strength as well as kind of neutralize neurologically what's going on in the hands by pushing into the hands with such veracity. So flashlight hands, it's kind of like you're throwing and catching quickly and vigorously. So throw and catch, throw and catch, throw and catch, throw and catch, throw and catch. And again, 30, 50, maybe 100 times, taking them fast and just working on this whole idea of control, throwing the fingers out and then pulling the fingers back in nice and hard. And just taking a few more cycles of breath in this flashlight hand technique. And then when you're done, you can again make fists, roll it out. You can push forward through a palm and draw your fingers back towards your face, just giving the outer or the inner wrist a good stretch. And then in reverse style, pulling the fingertips back toward the armpit to give the outer wrist and into the forearm a nice stretch. And do make sure you switch hands just to give both sides equal attention. Sometimes I actually like to sit with this particular stretch for a little bit longer, just to give everything adequate attention. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you today. Be sure to check out my subsequent videos on strength for the wrists, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.